Some products are easy to buy online. Perfume isn't traditionally one of them. On this episode, we're going to give you some pointers to help you make a great choice of perfume, especially if you're getting it online. Welcome to a new episode of the Perfume Connoisseur, and today we're going to be addressing a major issue, in quotes, a problem that many people face when they try to buy a perfume online. For some people, all they want is a beautiful bottle and they really don't care about the scent. They just want something really presentable, and at the end of the day they get their beautiful bottle but they do not like the scent. For some other people, they get the perfume online and they realize that, oh my god, this is a very small size and this is not really what I wanted. So these pointers I'm going to share on this episode is going to help you to know the key parts, the key things you should look out for when buying a perfume online, especially if it's a perfume you haven't used before or you're trying to experiment or explore a new brand. So point number one is to know your perfume notes. I feel this applies to people that are new to perfume or people that know about perfume but not this part of perfumes actually. So on previous episodes we've talked about knowing your perfume notes. Knowing your perfume notes is the very basic thing you can do for yourself. It gives the vendor selling to you pointers on where to give you recommendations on. So if you say, oh okay, I want something with a note of rose, that has rose as one of its notes, or I want something from the floral family, it helps you narrow down options and it actually helps you save time. So about knowing your notes, we'll just go over a short brief on that. So as you know, top notes are like what you scent immediately after the first spritz of the perfume. So basically, if you pick up a perfume now, you spray it maybe on your wrist or something and you smell it, that's the top notes right there. So that's like the top notes of the perfume. So top notes basically set the mood for the fragrance and they evaporate within 15 minutes, like within 15 to 20 minutes. So after 15 to 20 minutes, the top notes disappear. So should you buy a perfume based on the top notes? Nah, not a good idea. It's not really advisable. The middle notes appear after the top notes are beginning to fade, and it acts as the body of the fragrance, which accounts for majority of its final smell. So the beauty of a fragrance is in the middle notes. Actually, it's in the middle notes. So they include long-lasting and full-body scents such as jasmine, neroli, and the likes. Lastly, the base notes. So the base notes is just there to add depth and complexity, to make the perfume stand. This is when you find ingredients like sandalwood and musk. So it's the middle notes and the base notes that are really the most important. My books, they're really the most important. So if you know your notes, it gives you an idea of, okay, this is what I want to smell like, this is what I want to smell like. So that helps you narrow down from the loads of options that you have. Point number two is to know your desired perfume concentration. Like I said also in previous episodes, we have various perfume concentrations. If you're buying a perfume, if you just look at the front, some brands indicate it at the front, some do it at the back. The perfume concentration is always given. So we have 5 major types of perfume concentrations. We have eau fraiche, we have perfume, we have eau de parfum, which is commonly called EDP. We have eau de toilette, which is the EDT. We also have the eau de cologne, which is also EDC. And all these perfume concentrations, they have different lasting powers. So that's also a major pointer of what you should look out for. What's the perfume? Firstly, what are the notes of this perfume I want to buy? Secondly, what is the fragrance concentration? Because there are cases where the notes are great, but you didn't pay attention to the concentration, and when you finally get the perfume, you're shocked because of the concentration because of the lasting power, and you go start blaming the vendor, oh, you sold fake to me and all. Sometimes it's a case of the concentration, because the concentration actually determines the longevity of the fragrance. The perfume actually has a staggering 20 to 40% of pure fragrance oils. So it's like the richest of all concentrations that can give you like 15 hours and beyond. Above, skyrockets over. That's what I use, and trust me, it's very dependent. The eau de perfume is also very, very dependent, and it can give you between 8 to 13 hours, 14 hours, and it has a concentration of 15 to 20%. The eau de toilette has 5 to 15% of oil concentration, pure perfume concentration, and it can give you between 6 to 8 hours. Eau de cologne has just 2 to 4%, and it could give you 4 to 6 hours of longevity, while eau fraiche has just 1 to 3%, and it could give you 2 to 4 hours. So knowing this, when you see a perfume, you want to buy a perfume, you could ask the vendor, oh, okay, what's the perfume concentration? And the person can tell you EDT. So if EDT works for you, for that particular perfume you want to buy, fine. Most people don't like concentrated scents, and most people just want to smell fresh for a short period of time, depending on the user. So this also helps you to know what you want concentration-wise. Point number 3 is very important, and is like the most missed part of choosing a great perfume online, is to know your bottle size. What bottle size works for you? There's a 25ml bottle, there are 30ml bottles, there are 50ml bottles, there are 100ml bottles, and so forth and so on and so forth. What works best for you? Would you prefer a 50ml bottle? For the price, you feel a 100ml bottle is great. So these are things you should also consider. Sometimes it's not all about the aesthetics. What's the size? What's in it? What quantity does it hold? That's also an important point to note. Point number 4 is to read perfume reviews about the particular perfume you want to buy. Know what other users think about the perfume. Know what their struggles is and what they find intriguing about the perfume. For some people, for some perfumes, some people will say, oh my god, this is more overpowering than I thought. This is like not for me. And if you're the person that likes musky scent or overpowering scent, you're like, hell yeah, that is the one for me. So you should read perfume reviews through and through to know what other people really think about this fragrance. With these 4 points, you're good to go to buy a perfume online, and you're going to love it. A bonus point is, don't get hung up on pricing. Just because a fragrance is expensive doesn't mean it's the best. Don't base your opinions on the price tag alone. It's a very big perfume myth. The quality of a fragrance is not always dependent on the price. So if you're fully buying a perfume just because it's the most expensive in the room, you might be setting yourself up for a rude shock. So go for options, or go for the ones that meet what you really want in a perfume, and I'm sure you're going to make a good choice. On this note, see you in the next episode, and happy buying.